Now that you've been introduced to the Community Hazard Assessment and Mitigation Planning System, otherwise known as CHAMPS, let's take a look at the 5 roles that are offered within the system. In this short overview, we'll talk about what each role is, who would typically serve in that role, and what one would be able to accomplish within the system to enhance disaster management. At the end of this video, if you would like to learn more about how to work inside CHAMPS, click one of the 5 module icons that are shown on the screen. Before we begin, let's quickly review the 5 modules that are contained within CHAMPS that will help a community first understand risk and then mitigate from loss. At the heart of CHAMPS, the Community Profile provides a snapshot of your community's assets, events, and provides a centralized location to store important agency and infrastructure information. The Assessments module allows users to create and conduct standardized assessments for comparing community capabilities. The Plans module provides a guided process to develop, review, maintain, and update customized planning policy documents. The Funding module provides information on funding opportunities and disaster declaration status. And lastly, the Projects module guides users through the project management process, from funding application to project implementation. With the utilization of the 5 modules concurrently, communities can become more resilient. If you haven't already viewed the 15-minute CHAMPS introductory video, we encourage you to take some time to watch and learn about the system development and benefits of utilizing the system. While developing CHAMPS, the community has remained central to the evolution of the system. With free system access, communities can take advantage of improving communication and coordination in a more structured and informed manner when managing disasters, while also decreasing the time needed to complete federal and state requirements. A few of the many groups that can experience enhanced communication through CHAMPS are federal, state, regional, and local groups. With varying levels of access, users can interact with peers, authorities, and community partners before, during, and after a significant event has occurred. There are 5 key roles within CHAMPS, some that have higher access to the system than others. Starting with the lowest level of access to the highest, user roles are Viewer, Author, Local Administrator, Manager, and Administrator. While we explore each of the role definitions and what it is that each role can do, think about where you and your community partners would fit into CHAMPS. Now let's take a look at each one in more detail. The viewer role is one that is meant to inform local officials and community leaders on a limited number of disaster management activities that the community is working on. The viewer will be able to access published information in each one of the 5 modules. The author role will be played by those local level staff and organizations that use CHAMPS as their planning tool for local disaster management. After a disaster has occurred, authors may record event and damage information, manage and track progress on the community standard requirements, collaboratively complete assessments, plans, and projects, and view and apply for funding opportunities to help further the community's disaster management approach. Additionally, authors can post meeting announcements via the Briefings Calendar application. The local administrator is reserved for a key local decision maker that has oversight and influence on disaster management in a community. This person might be the chair of the local emergency planning committee, otherwise known as the LEPC. The local administrator will be the first to review and approve information that is submitted by an author. After this review and approval, the information will be submitted to the manager for their review at the state level. Additionally, administrators can enter and publish infrastructure information. The manager role is held by users at the state and regional levels. Perhaps the most important aspect of a manager's role is to produce standardized and structured templates for authors to complete, such as assessments, plans, or projects. A manager is also responsible for ensuring that the local standard requirements are tracked and applied at the local level. Lastly, information on funding availability can be entered into the funding module so that locals are aware of these funding opportunities. And lastly, for the administration of the system and technical assistance, the administrator role is held by state-level staff. Administrators have the ability to make changes and alterations within the system that will improve the experience of other subordinate roles in each one of the 5 modules. So what role will you play? To help answer this question, take a peek at our videos that demonstrate how each of the 5 roles will interact within each module. To view examples, click one of the following module icons.